I could tell music wasn't a hobby for me anymore when I started botting a lot of the playlists that I was making, and I actually built up a small fortune from that. So I kind of thought this might be the move. You know, when I started out in music, it was a lot of lonely, long nights sitting in front of the computer, in bed, watching SVU on the TV, and typing. You know, a lot of time alone just typing. Sometimes I would copy prompts from other people and paste that in. But you know, most of the time it was all me writing it, or I would have ChatGPT generate me a prompt for Suno. Most of the time it was all me. You know, it basically just kind of smelled like home because it was home, and I was in bed. Man, you know, 20 years ago, people were really worried about AI changing music or ruining music or reshaping the landscape. And I'm really proud to say that, you know, all those people that were worried about it failed, and I succeeded because I used AI. And you know, unfortunately, if you want to be a Luddite, that's what's going to happen. You know, you're going to get left behind. And it's truly only those who adapt and are willing to step all over others that will be the ones that succeed. You know, we used to have so many tools in the studio. When I was starting out, people had stuff like this microphone. We don't use that anymore, or any of these knobs. You know, it's all about your relationship with your computer and how you're gonna foster that relationship. Are you gonna clean the keys? Are you gonna wipe the screen down when you sneeze? It's the relationship that we have between technology and us. Breaking down that barrier is really the only thing that I need to be successful.
So how do you feel, you know, performing live versus being in the studio where it's nice and safe?
I mean, I click the space bar wherever I'm at. So truthfully, you know, whether I'm at home prompting music from bed and watching Mariska Hargitay, or I'm out on stage at Coachella just pressing space bar on the laptop, it really makes no difference to me. I make a lot of money either way. I remember the first time I got in the studio and got to work with a real engineer and producer, and I got to fire them so quickly because I just brought in the laptop and it did all of their jobs. I realized in that moment that, like, art is infallible, you know? Art is forever, but it can be made a lot cheaper, and the more people you can cut out of the process, really the better art you can make.